Hola amigos, soy Robert Rojo. Bienvenidos al tercer podcast de Talking About Kennett Square. Hoy estaremos conversando con Coleman y Timothy Kerver. Ellos responderán importantes preguntas a nuestra comunidad hispanohablante.
Well, my name is Timothy Kerver, and I've been living in Kennett Square now for about 6 years. I recently elected to the council borough this year. I started as of January 1st, so I'm really excited to roll up our sleeves and make some great changes here to the Kennett Square area.
And I'm Kyle Coleman. I started as the borough manager here in about mid-September, so worked a little bit with the last council, been starting with the new council as of January, and came from Florida. I'd worked there for 5 years in city management, so just excited to get back to the Northeast and excited for what we're doing here in Kennett Square.
Ahora, vamos con las preguntas. Este año es un año electoral y los hispanos que ya tenemos el estatus legal para poder participar en estas elecciones, ¿dónde podemos inscribirnos para poder votar?
That's a really great question. Actually, you have many avenues that you can go to for being able to sign up for registration for running for your candidacy vote. One of the best places to go is really you can go on to kennett.pa.us. I believe there's also a department of the state where you can go on for PA. Is it PA voters? I have it written down here, so when I read it, voter service, pa.gov. Is that something like that? I probably botched it up.
So Timothy is totally right. That's the site. It does have a Spanish translation on it. We can provide it. Maybe you can go onto this video or in the comments section. And then we are working on putting the link on our website too. So we're trying to make our website a resource that people can use for things like this.
En los últimos 5 meses hemos podido observar un aumento de precios en bienes y servicios, pero donde más se ha visto definitivamente es en la gasolina. ¿Cuál es la causa real de esta alza de precios y como ciudadano debo preocuparme por el futuro?
I think this has been in forefront for just about everyone, not only just in Kennett Borough, but also throughout the whole world as concerns. I'm hoping and praying that things are kind of level themselves down a little bit. These are all concerns where we see it in the pricing of gas and just being able to go food shopping. It's an incredible increase. Just today, before I came here, I stopped at the dollar store, and instead of being $1, it was $1.25.
Right.
So it's like it's hitting everybody. I really empathize with this question.
And I think that's our approach is we can't really control gas prices, but we can be cognizant of other costs that we have out there and try to limit those where we can.
Yes, definitely.
Me enteré en el podcast pasado que existe un proyecto para construir un conjunto de viviendas tipo townhouse en la calle este Street. Quería saber para cuándo estaría lista esta construcción.
So they are apartments. They're coming in. They recently went through our approval process late last year, and they just went through one of our boards maybe a month ago.
Sure.
So construction isn't yet underway, but that'll probably happen sometime in 22. And that's probably a 2 or 3 year construction project because it's pretty significant development there.
Yeah, that's very exciting to see. I'm excited to see what that'll look like and provide housing for other people.
Yep.
Este año sí vamos a poder disfrutar del Festival del Hongo en la calle State Street como tradicionalmente se ha hecho.
Okay. Yes, we will be able to. Everybody's really been looking forward to this year as having it back on State Street, and we will definitely be having it there. So we are super excited. We're even excited in the studio. We have mushrooms everywhere. So that's what we're all about here. So we are super excited about all the vendors that'll be here, and it should be a great time, and I look forward to seeing everybody there. So it'll be a great time for all.
Yeah, nothing else to add to that.
Participé en la encuesta sobre el transporte público interno para Kennett Square. Me gustaría saber cuál fue el resultado y qué sistema de transporte van a colocar en nuestra ciudad para los que no poseemos automóvil.
Sure. So the borough started, I believe it was last spring, it might have been last summer, a study with a area consultant, and we got grant funds to do it. and it's all around this idea of micro transit, which is basically Uber, Lyft, things like that. It's the short mile destinations, but it's for things that people need, right? Medicine and groceries and those day-to-day things. The consultant is still working on it. They presented to the council last month, or maybe it was February, and they're still working through it. The idea is, can we develop some kind of a public transportation system to help some of those? Because we understand there are gaps in the system. The issue, like almost everything, is how can we fund it? How can we afford to do something like that? But that's what we're working on. It's a project specifically related to trying to meet that gap that we know is there. So I'm hoping within the next probably 3 to 4 months, we'll have another presentation for the public. We'll have it on our website, fully accessible in public meetings, that gives what those recommendations are and what next steps could be.
And that's good. So you think it's going to be like some kind of app that somebody would download, and it'd be kind of like, oh, here comes my car, and then you'll have an idea as to what the cost would be prior to. That
would be the hope.
Oh, that sounds cool.
To make some of those apps a little more affordable, a little more accessible, but it's still relatively early, so I'm just not sure how it'll kind of work itself out.
Yeah, I believe there was a couple more studies that are out. We should probably have more of that information next couple of months. As soon as we hear about it, we'll definitely let all the citizens know about it.
Yeah, because we know it's a need out there. It's just we're working on trying to find something.
Cool.
Como hispano, esto es lo que me preocupa. Recientemente se decretó un aumento salarial. En otros estados ya incluso hicieron los aumentos. Pero acá en Kennett Square aún seguimos con los mismos sueldos de hace años. ¿Saben si las empresas van a actualizarse en ese tema?
That's a great question. I know that's very much a concern of a lot of people here. So
it is. I don't have a real sense of that, but I would think as costs go up everywhere that eventually salaries would go up too. And it's kind of to the question about gas prices, right? I mean, we know people feel it. We all have a sense of what's going on here. So on the borough side, we can focus on trying to limit our costs to help our people, limit rate hikes in different areas, and try to do projects like the microtransit to help people, even if we can't control what's going on in some of these other spaces.
Correct.
Trabajo en un restaurante de Kennett y he notado que cuando tenemos muchos visitantes, un gran número de clientes se quejan porque no tienen dónde estacionarse. Incluso, algunos se van por este problema. ¿Existe un plan para resolverlo?
So, there is a couple things that we as council have been talking about doing for the community. We're really trying to utilize our parking garage as much as possible. We're working on getting a number as to how many parking spots we'd have in there. I would say probably around 100, maybe under 100 parking spots that would be available for that. We're also going to be working on the signage of the various locations throughout the town as to, hey, this is where you turn to go to the parking garage. Something like that would give a lot more accessibility to people being able to come into our town, enjoy it, and also be able to park. So that's one of the bigger areas that we're really working on, is really driving that parking to that parking garage.
Yeah, I just echo what you said, that it feels like we have enough parking, but it's not being utilized all the way. So how do we make the garage, more noticeable, more attractive for people? We're working on the lighting, right, to make it brighter at night, to do things like that.
And I think that's really important, because we're really striving to have a little downtown where people want to come visit. So anybody who's traveling from Longwood Garden, or somebody new to the area just coming by here, and they'll be like, oh, I don't see any place to park. They can see that parking garage sign, and they'd be actually able to just turn left or turn right, whatever direction they're going to be, and be able to park comfortably. To Kyle's point, there'll be some lighting in there. So it should be a very safe place, very comfortable place, and affordable for a person to be able to park and enjoy our downtown.
We just we joked about this a little bit, but one of the challenges with finding the garage is that it's such a nice looking garage that it blends in everywhere. Like you can't find the garage unless you're really trying to find it. So it's a good problem to have, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Awesome.
Como hispana, si tengo una queja o si quiero hacer una sugerencia al Borough de Kennett Square, ¿puedo confiar en que me van a escuchar? Si es así, ¿a dónde puedo dirigirme o a dónde puedo llamar?
Yeah. Go ahead. There's a couple things.
Sure. So you can go to our website, kennettsq.org. You can call our phones, 610-444-6020, 610-444-6020. And I was telling Timothy earlier today, we're working on something that's probably later in 22, but a public site, maybe an app for people to report issues that they see. So if you see a pothole, if you see a tree that needs trimming, one site you can go to, you can take a picture of it and send it to our staff, because we're trying to be more responsive with the community, trying to just make it easier, right?
Yeah,
if you want
proactive.
to connect to us, that it's easier to sort of bridge that gap a little bit. And hopefully the idea of doing this podcast, one of them is to give people a space where they can give us comments and feedback, and hopefully this helps in that.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of me becoming a council member, is to really be your liaison to actually, for you to be able to feel comfortable to come up to me and have a question or a concern, and I in turn will bring it in front of my peers or other council people and Kyle and try to resolve that. Like an example of that is I live on East Linden, and I love living there, and I'm very passionate about where I live, but it's a very little diverse street. And I have gone door to door telling people now that you no longer have to leave on Friday nights. You can leave your car there continuously, for the street cleaning. So it's just me getting my word out there, my face, so they know who I am and they can actually communicate. If you see me, don't hesitate to come up and ask any questions. That's what I'm there for, to actually help you out.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yep, pretty much. So Kyle, with Cinco de Mayo coming up very shortly here in Kennett, is there any activities that are happening in the area?
Yeah, so we're pretty excited about it. We're in the process of moving into a new building. It's the old Genesis building, 600 South Broad Street. It's across the street from the high school. And that's going to be the site of Cinco de Mayo this year. So it's May 7th. What's interesting about this year's event is the Kennett Run is going on at the same time. So you're going to be able to do both of these things. So it should be a really popular site. I think it'll be a regional attraction for Cinco de Mayo. And just that space is so open and so big, it should be a really great event. And Sarah and some of the other people at Casa Guanajuato do a really good job.
Oh, nice.
So I know we're all really excited about it.
Yeah, do they have a count of how many vendors are going to be there or anything like that?
Last I checked, it was over 50.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it's going to be thousands of people. It should be a pretty good turnout.
Definitely. Oh, I'm excited. I'll definitely have to go to that one.
Yep.
Real quickly, with the election coming up, I think it's really important that everybody gets out and vote. I had mentioned earlier in some of the other areas that you can vote as far as apps you can download, but there's other things that you can do also. You could also go online. You could do it by mail. You could do it in person. You could also register at our county voting registration. You could also do it at Pennsylvania PennDOT government too. So there's a lot of places you can even go in person to be able to vote also. So it's really important to get your voice out there and really vote. So we appreciate it, that anybody who would show up for that. We really do. So another thing, I just want to thank everyone for allowing us into your home tonight, to taking the time to click on this video, liking it and sharing it, but also just allowing us into your home just to get to know our faces and who we are. And we're here to really serve you and really help you out with any questions and concerns that you might have. I speak for me and the whole council, and for Kyle also. So once again, thank you very much for allowing us in.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Si quieres hacer alguna pregunta, entonces puedes escribirnos a nuestro correo kennetica@gmail.com y con gusto la vamos a incluir en el próximo podcast. Gracias por tu atención y hasta un próximo Talking About Kennett Square.